All right, guys, I'm sharing my chart here. I wanted to go over with you guys how simple it is using our trade plan to target a quick gain of anywhere between 3 to 10% on a day trade and be in and out and be done for the day. Okay, watch this strategy right here. And this is really coming down to the discipline and patience of following through with our trade plan, right? So as we could see, I've already highlighted this right here. We have the MACD crossover, right? And then we're trading above the zero line on the histogram of the MACD. So we're trading above the zero line. And then we have the 1020 crossover. And after that 1020 crossover, our first green candle after the crossover is our official entry with the bomb cycle. So our bomb cycle, we have 3 check marks equal confirmed entry, right? So take a look at this. So again, we have the MACD cross. That's check number 1. Check number 2 is the 1020 crossover, check number 2. And then check number 3 is the first candle after the 1020 cross above the 10 and 20-day simple moving average. So here's check number 3. So 3 check marks equal confirmed entry. If we come on here, we could see that was at 11:38 a.m. Okay, 11:38 a.m. Now, if we could see this too, our exit is going to be when we get the MACD cross below and we start trading below that 1020. Okay, so right here we got the MACD cross below. We started trading below zero line. And here's our first candle. It's been holding that 10-day simple moving average per our trade plan the whole time. It's been, coming down to it at support and then breaking out, coming back down to that 10-day simple moving average as support, and then breaking out, making new highs in that breakout momentum cycle. Now, when you see something different, it's all about pattern recognition with our trade plan. So we see a candle below that 10. We have the MACD cross. So our exit's going to be right here at 1203. Okay, so we have our entry at 1138 and our exit at 1203. That is a little over, that's less than a half-hour trade. Now, watch this. So watch this now. I think it said I was muted. I hope I wasn't. But take a look at this. We have our 3 check marks for a confirmation on our entry. MACD cross, 1020 cross, first candle above. That happened at 1138. It's been holding that 10-day simple moving average as support, breaking out, coming back down to that yellow 10-day simple moving average as support. All along, it's been making higher lows in that breakout momentum cycle and higher highs. Okay, so here's where we have the change. We have the MACD cross below, first candle below that yellow 10. So at 1203 is our exit. Again, 1138 is our entry, and 1203 is our exit. Now watch this. Watch. If I chart that option, and again, you're trading it at the money. So right there, she was at about 620.50. So you round it up to the next one there. So 621 we'll look at. So if I do the 621, now if I click on this, this is going to chart that option. Bam, watch this now. I'm going to link it to link 3. Watch this. Now we go back to those time frames of 1138 and 1203, and this is going to tell us the prices of those options at that time. So watch this beautiful trade plan in action. 1138. Here was your candle, and we're going to use the highest prices as well, just for transparency and just to show you the outcomes. Right here. Look at this. That option at 1138 at the high was worth 69 cents. 69 cents, right? Now at the low of that candle, it was worth 59 cents. But let's just say we got in at the high. Let's just say, we got in at the high. We got in at 69 cents right on that 1138 candle. What time did I say was our exit? Is anyone following along? 1203. Great job, Nimka. 1203. Now look at the 1203 candle. Here is the 1203 candle. The high of that was 93. The low of that was 86. I'm going to use the low of that. Okay, I'm using the worst numbers possible just to give you the worst outcome possible. All right, 1203, bam, 86 cents. So what was our entry? 69 cents. We were out at 86 cents. Let's do the math on that. 0.86, divide that by 0.69. That's a 24.64% return following through and executing on the trade plan. Now, that's a 24% gain. Listen to me. I'm telling you, because I've been doing very well with this in my other account here, on the side. I have my laptop and my iPad next to me. So whenever I'm on the stream with you guys, I mean, you guys see my setup. I share the pictures of it. I have the computer right next to me. So I've been implementing those strategies on my other account here, and I've been doing phenomenally well. So listen, I'm not targeting 24%. I told myself that if I could put $7,500 into a trade and I could just make 5% on that trade, guess what it comes out to? 7,500, multiply that by 0.5%. That's $375 just using 7,500, $7,500. Now, if I did that twice per day, well, let's just say I do it once per day. There's 21 trading days per month. $375, multiply that by 21 trading days per month. That's $7,875 per month just doing that 1 day trade a day. We multiply that by 12 months. That's $94,500 a year, searching, waiting, being patient and disciplined, and not even going for that 24% return. That's just saying, hey, 5% gain, I'm selling the trade, I'm done, over, and I'm moving on, right? That's incredible right there. That's what I really want to do our next trade challenge on, where we just doing day trades and focus in on that 5% gain, locking it in, being done, and moving on. You're going to grow your account significantly that way. I mean, obviously you could follow through with the entire trade plan and get that 24%, but like, let's be real. Let's just lock in a quick 5% and freaking grow that account really quick for you guys. I mean, I don't use that strategy in the main account, but I use that strategy on shares in the main account, not options, with shares. And it's done very well for me. That's why I created the trade plan. So let's execute on the minute chart, the 3-minute or the 5-minute chart here, and take advantage of the breakout momentum cycles. And instead of targeting that whole 24%, once we hit 5 to 7%, we could be out of that trade. Now, again, let's get back to that trade. So it was 69-cent entry, 86-cent exit, right? So let's just say that we did the 7,500, right? $7,500, and we multiply that by 0.05%. That's $375, right? Now, there's a few times here. See, I mean, this is obviously an intraday 1-minute chart here. There's a few times throughout the day that you're going to have those solid opportunities. Let's just say that we were able to find these types of setups 3 times a day, right? 3 times a day. That's it. 375, multiply that by 3, that's $1,125 per day locked in and realized each day by utilizing that strategy and only searching for 5%. Now, if we do the math once again, and that's with only putting down 7,500 on a trade, I'm going to go over a different number with you in a minute here, but $1,125 if we did that 3 times a day in and out. 1125, multiply that by 21 trading days per month. That's $23,625 per month. If multiply that by 12 months, that's $283,500 per year. Okay. Now, how many of you guys could be disciplined and patient enough to say, hey, if I execute on this trade plan, I could make a lot of money? But it's so easy throughout the day to say, hey, Johnny's trading this, Joey's trading that, Bobby's doing this. Oh man, everyone's in all these stocks. I have FOMO. I have fear of missing out, right? That's what destroys every trader's account, is that FOMO, that fear of missing out. I'm telling you, just be precise, like Captain Thomas. Yeah, I mean, I've noticed too, like professions that make you disciplined, those are usually the people that do very well with trading. You saw how Captain Thomas, I mean, there's a lot of members in here that execute perfectly too. But you see how like when they share their profits there with you for the day, they're executing on the trade plan perfectly. Why? Because they have the discipline from their careers that, hey, like as a pilot, you have that checklist. You have to go through that checklist pre-flight, post-flight, I mean, you're doing everything down to a T. I mean, there's a checklist of everything you have to check off and do before you fly, and trading is that same way. You have a checklist, you have your 3 checks as your entry for your confirmed bomb cycle, 3 check marks for your confirmed entry for the BDM or breakdown momentum cycle, and you're buying puts or shorting the shares. So there's opportunity everywhere as long as you're following through and executing on your trade plan. Okay. So now getting back to this, let's just say that you wanted to do a smaller amount. So let's just say you have a small account. I mean, to me, a small account's anything below 25 grand. But let's just say you have a micro account there and you only have like 5 grand in your account, right? You got a micro account, 5 grand. Let's say you want to implement $2,000 for these day trades, right? $2,000, multiply that by 0.05. That's $100 on a trade. You do that 3 times a day and make those 3 trades. That's $300 per day. Multiply that by 21 days. And in your first month, your $5,000 account that you're only using $2,000 for these quick day trades in and out, guess what? That $5,000 account just grew by an extra $6,300. $300 per day, multiply that by 21 trading days per month. That's $6,300 in profits that you've made. Multiply that by 12, and guess what? That's $75,600 per year. At the end of the year, your account's at $75,600 when you started with a $5,000 account. And that's by just quickly taking these small gains. Everyone that I know that struggles with trading, they're trying to hit the freaking ball and go for the grand slams. Trading is not that way. Warren Buffett doesn't even do that. If you guys are able to come in here and freaking knock down a quick 5 to 7% on these day trades and execute on the trade plan that's guiding you for your entry and your exits on that trade plan, well, guess what? You could see that over time you're going to have significant growth. That's why you see me continuing to grow my account month over month. Sometimes, obviously, we have a drawback a bit, but that's when the markets are changing. When the markets change from a breakout momentum cycle to a breakdown momentum cycle, or vice versa, when it goes from a BDM cycle to a breakout momentum cycle, that week or two right there during that transition from between cycles, that's usually when you're going to see your account fluctuation there because you're transitioning from one cycle to the other. So that's normal right there. But when you're in the middle of just starting a bomb cycle, just starting a BDM cycle, it's easy money on the table there if you're able to follow through and execute on it. Okay, so that's what I want us to focus in on for these day trades that we're going to be doing. Is everyone on board with me? Okay. Now, don't be asking me to do that every single day because that's a lot of work. It's stressful. I'm going to show you guys the plan. I'm going to give you the blueprint and how to do it here. We're going to do it together, and then you guys could do it throughout the day. I just don't want to be forced to say, "Hey, Dave, let's make a day trade." I'm not like that. No one's going to force me to do nothing. All right, let's take a look there. Joby's high of the day, JOBY. Joby's looking incredible. 1147, 7.65%. Oh man, freaking INTW ripped. Let's see. Nimka says Palantir's climbing. When you say Palantir's climbing, I want you to get to that mindset where when it's climbing, it's up like 2, 3, 4%. But she is climbing off that red 50. That's looking pretty darn good there. I want her to get that decent breakout. I mean, if we look at that 3-month daily chart on Palantir, I mean, that looks pretty damn good right now, right? This morning, it wasn't that hot. This morning, it looked bad. I was down quite a bit on that because it was, what, $6,500 or $7,000 swing trade on the Palantir calls. I mean, I looked at that this morning. I'm like, oh, man, down $3,500. It was nasty. So now we're just about green on it again. We probably are green if I look at it. Let's see here, Palantir. I'm still down 366 bucks on it. But you know, that one's ready to turn green. And once Palantir really starts ripping, that trade's gonna make some nice profits. But that's another one. Do you see how I'm talking about with swing trades? Don't go with intraday noise. Look and see where she's at like 3:30 p.m. each day. Because if you looked at that this morning, and I'm sure there was probably someone in the trade room. I didn't go in there and look, but I could tell you exactly who it was if they did say it. You know, they'd be stressing about Palantir. Oh my God, Palantir, it's horrible. I'm down big on it. Let's sell it. Let's get rid. That's emotional trading. I don't want you guys to be like that. You know, look at the end of the day. The last 30 minutes of the day is where you want to look for your executions on your swing trades. It's very important. Listen to that. If you're in swing trades, don't get emotional on intraday volatility. Stocks go up and down throughout the day. You know, I mean, there's a misconception from some of you that think that as soon as you get into a trade, it's just going to light its engines and Elon Musk is going to take you to the moon without any pit stops. That's not going to happen. You know, it's going to have ups and downs throughout that way. So it's important to understand that intraday volatility is just that. It's noise. It's noise. Things happen throughout the day. There's buyers, sellers coming in throughout the day. Look and see where that chart and that candle is at the last 30 minutes of the day there for your swing trades. Okay, that's important. Yeah, yeah. If you're looking at a daily chart for a swing trade, you certainly never should be looking at the intraday minute chart. Then, yeah, whatever if you're trading off of a minute chart, then you're keeping that damn chart on a minute chart. You're not changing it from a minute to something else. If you're on a swing trade on a daily chart, you're not changing that to a minute chart or a 5 minute chart. No, no, that's nuts. You got to stick with it. Yeah. I mean, that to me is just that should be common sense for every trader is, hey, if you're making a trade on the daily chart, keep watching it on the daily chart. If you're making a day trade using a 1 minute chart, now here's one thing that you can do. I mean, you can jump in on a minute chart for a day trade, and then you know if you want to cut the emotions out, you could change it to a 3 or a 5 minute once you enter. But that's the only time that you could do that type of difference there. That's the only type. But that's what I mean though about, you know, locking in those small gains. Those small gains add up. 5% on a $7,500 trade is 350 bucks. You make two of those trades per day, that's $700 per day. And with your 21 trading days per month, that's $700 per day comes out to $14,700 per month. Multiply that by 12 months. That's $176,400 a year off of a small account. So it's about executing on the trade plan and it's about precision trading. Follow through with that trade plan. Don't be greedy. Don't be saying, hey, man, I want to maximize profits. I want that damn grand slam. Because you know what? Not even baseball players, you know, a grand slam is rare for them. So if Warren Buffett isn't hitting consistent grand slams, for sure, as hell, don't think that you're going to come in there and hit grand slams on all your trades because it's not going to happen and you're going to blow your account. So follow through. Those singles and those doubles, they add up. Okay. I guess that's I mean I guess I'm using the baseball analogy today because I was at the baseball game, but it's a great analogy there using that. But yeah, follow through with that, please. All right. All right, let me exit and stop that screen sharing.